Hello and welcome to the Best of Buckeye. I'm Brian Williams, Superintendent, and I'm joined today with some of our football players and our football coach. I want to welcome you guys and thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great, especially since we won our game this week.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's a big win.
Sure.
Good. Well, why don't you introduce yourself and maybe a little bit of your background as we get started?
Okay. Well, again, I'm Coach Mark Pinzoni. I'm the head football coach, and these are two of my senior captains, Jeff Sasala and Christian Pitek. And I am the first-year football coach here at Buckeye High School. Proud to be here. And the guy to the right of me here, Mr. Williams, was kind enough to hire me for the job last spring. And myself and my staff are absolutely excited as all get out to be here. I come from Holy Name, which was my previous head coaching job. I was there for 3 years, from 2010 to 2012, coaching in the North Coast League. And before that, I was at Brunswick High School as an assistant to Rich Nowak, a former head coach at Brunswick High School for 15 years. And coincidentally, Coach Nowak, who's now retired, has been my assistant both at Holy Name, and he's followed me over here to Buckeye. He can't get away from football coaching, so he's with us too. And like I said earlier, we're just happy to be here.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you. That's a great introduction to yourself. You mentioned your staff, and you have quite a staff. And you mentioned Coach Nowak. Can you talk a little bit about the rest of your staff?
Well, the first thing I'll say is, and when the newspapers called after I was given the job, people ask, well, what do you start with? And the very first step, you certainly want to meet the players and meet with the parents and all those things, and that's an important piece to it. But before you go anywhere, you have to get the best staff you can possibly get. The coaches that you trust, that not only know how to do X's and O's, but that teach. And so the biggest thing that I think about our staff is that my coaches are teachers. Mm-hmm. They teach in the classroom. They've taught in the classroom. And so when they're on the field, it's like a classroom for them. It's just that we've got grass instead of desks. Mm-hmm. And I think they do a great job of teaching our kids. A practice plan for us is like a lesson plan in the classroom. And every one of my coaches has teaching experience, and either is a current teacher or a retired teacher. I think that's the first step you do in building a program. So.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, good. And you're off to a 1-3 start, and like you mentioned, a big win. Friday and Saturday, I guess, after some crazy weather on Friday night. But can you talk about that win last Friday night?
Well, and again, I was interviewed after the game. It was a two-day game. We played on Friday night, and the rain got a hold of us, and the lightning. And I was trying to extend the referees as far as we could because I was telling everybody, you want to stay on track. You want to keep the kids in a routine. That didn't work out for us, but I thought our kids, really did a good job of adjusting, coming back out on Saturday and doing something that's not normally done. And we went out there and we finished our job, and we scored 47 and held them to 12, and it was a great game. And I think the biggest thing I could say is that not just myself and our coaching staff, but more importantly the kids, I think the guys will agree, that we feel like we can breathe a little bit better. When you're 0-3, it's 21 days of practicing and playing games, and nothing was happening. Plus the 6 weeks of doubles and July instruction. When you have that kind of length of commitment and hard work with no payback and no payout, it gets hard to stay positive and keep things together. And I'm very proud of our kids because they went that long, 6 weeks of summer work and 3 weeks of practice, and not having anything, and then coming up here with the win and staying together. I'm very proud of them. So I think we're on our way, and it's a good kind of a catapult or transition to try to string something together and get the next win.
Great. Well, good. Well, thanks for that. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Especially a little better after Friday night, huh?
It feels good.
Yeah,
it feels
good. Why don't you introduce yourselves again, just so everybody at home knows who you are?
I'm Jesse Sala, senior captain.
I'm Christian Pitek, also a senior captain.
Okay, and Christian, what position do you play?
I play quarterback and a little bit of defensive back.
Okay, and your position?
I'm a wide receiver, and I play defensive back also.
Okay, wonderful. Christian, obviously being the quarterback, you kind of are the start of the show and kind of make everything go. From your perspective, how's the season been this year?
It's had its ups and downs. First 3 games were pretty tough. They're generally pretty tough, but we definitely this year, we came into all 3 of these games thinking that we absolutely had a chance against these teams. Our coaches do a great job in getting us prepared every week. It's just tough, like Coach Pinzoni said, going 3 weeks without a win, no paycheck, as he said. It's in the entire summer, but this week was definitely to get that proverbial monkey off your back and to get into pack play, 1-0 against a good team this week in Lutheran West, feels good. We got a lot of confidence coming into this week.
And Jesse, talk about Oberlin a little bit. What did Oberlin bring to the table? That was a big win. You really dominated Oberlin. Is that a team that you expected to beat like that, or what did you think of Oberlin going into that game?
I thought we were going to do what we wanted to do with the ball, and we just looked to pass the ball more and get some of the run game going. And I thought we did a really good job with that in the first quarter and establish momentum going into the second quarter and on.
How about with the weather the way it was? Did that do anything to your momentum? I mean, obviously getting off to a fast start and looking great in the first quarter of that game, and then the lightning comes and you sit around and then you finally find out you have to come back the next day. Did that affect your momentum? Do you think it could have been worse had that not happened?
I think it slowed us down a little bit on Saturday, but we picked up pretty well after that.
Christian, with this new coaching staff that you guys have, can you say what is their goal for you guys? I mean, is it all football or the things beyond football? But what do you think is the goal from your new coaching staff?
Well, I think like any coaching staff, it's the man and the student first, and then the player. Actually, Coach Pinzoni has really helped me. Him and also Coach Whitus with some college stuff, and they really do a great job helping us with stuff and issues outside of football. I'd like to say very good mentors, all of them, all our coaches, and then of course with their great football backgrounds, it transitions over to football too. They are great with the scheming and like I said before, getting us prepared each week. So it's kind of like a dual threat type thing.
And we don't want to put words into your mouth, Coach. Obviously, football is important, but as Christian said, is that kind of a goal of your coaching staff?
Oh, absolutely. It goes without saying. I mean, like I said, our coaches are our teachers first, including myself, and we absolutely say that academics are first, family is second, football third, and football's a close third, but it's a third. And I really believe that. I believe that our coaches work hard to make sure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is our first year, and we're still transitioning in with making sure we understand how things work here at Buckeye and in the school building. But what I've been very proud of is that our players, for the most part, have been great academically to this point. We're still early in the year. I haven't been getting phone calls or anything like that from administrators or parents or teachers regarding academics, at least not yet, and I don't plan to. And behavior-wise, we've been good as well. And we expect that. We expect our players to represent our football team and our school and our community in the best, most positive light that we can. Otherwise, they're gonna pay consequences, whether it be on the field with some sort of discipline or lack of a player playing time and things like that. So we expect a lot of our players and our coaches, I think, do a real good job of that. And to speak of our coaching staff, it's very nice that guys like Christian and Jeff and the community are so supportive of us. And one of the things that I, not to continue talking here, but I really try to stress is it's very nice that everybody's saying, well, we come from here at Holy Name, New Brunswick, and all these positive things that we've done. But, it's really not where you've been, it's where you're at. And what I want the players to know is we're here for them, and we're in the now. This is Buckeye football, not Holy Name or Brunswick football or anything like that. This is Buckeye football, and what matters is the players. We're here to help them. We're here to guide them. We're going to put them in position to give them the best chance to win, and then they have to execute and do things and buy in. And I think our players are doing that and doing what we're asking to do. That's the most important thing.
Good. Jeff, now you have Lutheran West coming up this week?
Yes.
And what do you know about Lutheran West at this point?
They're a good team. They are very fundamentally sound, and they go after the ball, and we just got to show up and play our game.
And what is your game?
I kind of like to mix it up. I mean, it's a spread offense, and Coach has mentored pretty well over what we wanted to do, and we just got to go out and execute.
So more of a kind of a diversified offense. Do you look at yourself more of a running team or a passing team? Has that kind of been established, or a little bit of both?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, we do run the ball pretty well, so it seems to be going with running, and it's worked out pretty well so far. And it worked out very well against Oklahoma.
Well, you're 1-0 in the pack.
Yeah.
And Christian, what are your, obviously you hope to win the rest of the pack games, But what, I mean, is from a standpoint of team, do you guys have goals moving forward as far as, I mean, is winning the pack one of your goals?
Well, of course, we want to win the pack and make playoffs and eventually state championship. But I think our coaches and the players, we do a great job of making it a week-to-week basis. We never look ahead or look back. We're going into this week, and we saw the film for Oberlin, what we need to fix to get better to beat Lutheran West. And that's our main objective this week, is to fix the mistakes that we had, move on and get another W against Lutheran West.
And is that possible this week, Coach? You feel good about your chances against Lutheran West?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we match up real well. We're healthy. A lot of our kids have come back. Some of the injuries that we've had. Sean Spence, who you might know, is teetering on coming back. He was one of our key not offensive line. He was a tight end and a defensive end, and a very smart player. And if we can get him back to help us a little bit, then we're almost to full capacity, health-wise and injury-wise. And he certainly can add to what we have to offer. And I think we're a good matchup. Lutheran West, when I watched the film yesterday on them, they do a couple of things differently offensively that concern us. So we're going to have to make sure that we line up right and we do the things that are involved in defense. We have to tackle. We have to handle our technique right and know our assignments just like any team has to. And if we do that, we'll be fine. We'll just be fine. One week at a time, like Kristen said.
Well, and I guess at the end of the day, it's about fundamentals, right? It's about tackling and blocking and catching and throwing and doing what you need to do to win.
Yeah, we're trying not to get too cute. I mean, we have, everybody says, well, we've got this kind of offense, that kind of offense. Yeah, we're a spread shotgun offense, but we had to slow some things down a little bit. It's new for our kids. It's first year. I mean, if you think about it, the seniors have gone through, a couple of offensive and defensive systems since 2011, I want to say. And so we threw a lot at them, and I think they've absorbed it pretty well, and they've bought in real well. But we decided to kind of slow a few things down. If you watch what we do, we actually sort of huddle a little bit to slow things down and let everybody process what we're doing so that we kind of maximize efficiency in what we're doing on offense instead of trying to push them so fast that we end up maybe being fast for the defense, but then we don't execute properly. So, and that's where, again, our coaching staff comes in and identifies, okay, we can't do quite what we thought we want to do. Let's do this, and we'll probably be better for it.
Well, and on that note, we hope that this is the last time these kids have to experience a different offense for a while.
Sure.
So that's our hope. You stick around for a while.
Well, that'll be up to you. I sure hope so, too.
Well, that would be our plan. Outside of football, can you guys talk about school a little bit, your experience? Have you both been in Buckeye schools for your entire schooling career?
I moved here from California in 6th grade.
6th grade, okay.
And it's a lot different, just the people in general and where I'm at and everything. But I think it's a good school. There's good teachers. They're looking to guide you right out academically and as a person.
Good. That's good to hear. How about you, Christian?
I've basically been in Buckeye my entire life. Came here in 2nd grade from Elyria, and it's great. I love Buckeye. I love being a Buck. Teachers are fantastic. It's a nice. I like the nice small community. Knowing everyone in the high school. Knowing all the teachers, it really helps with academics and gaining new friends. So, love being a Buck.
Good to hear. That's wonderful to hear. How about future for you guys? Do you know what you want to do? You want to go on to college, or do you know what you want to study yet? Have you thought much about that?
The studies, I'm kind of iffy about still, but I know I want to go to college. It's not like a big time college, Kent, Bowling Green, something like that, close to home. But yeah. College, probably.
Good.
I'm looking at trying to get into one of the military academies, possibly Air Force or Navy. It's been a dream of mine for a while. So, like I said, Coach Pinzoni and Coach Whitus have been very helpful with it. And it's coming up, and hopefully I can get in. But
good.
Good. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to both of you. You obviously are great role models. People that we are very proud to have as Buckeye Bucks, and we appreciate that. So thanks for all you do, not only on the football field, but in the classroom and in our community. You make us proud, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr.
So thank you. And Coach, again, we thank you for your time and what you do. I mean, I don't think people understand, we get to see football happening on Friday nights, but being a football coach is so much more, not only than football, but it is about helping kids become men, helping them with college, helping them with their studies. The hours that go in is tremendous, and we appreciate what you do. So
thank you. Proud to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Anything else from a football standpoint that we haven't gotten a chance to talk about? You have Lutheran West coming up. schedule's online. We'd love for our community to come out. These guys are fun to watch. It's a fun brand of football, and I do expect that there's going to be a lot of wins here for the rest of the season.
Sure, I would absolutely say come out and see us. Our kids are prepared, they know more, and just to kind of dovetail off of what Christian said, our goals are very simple. It was to have a winning season, to beat our arch rival, Black River, to win the PAC, and to qualify for the state playoffs and then win the state championship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's posted in our locker room, and we're working on achieving as many of those goals as we can here in year one that we've been here as a coaching staff. And I expect our players and our coaches and our program overall to accomplish as many of those goals as possible, and those will be our goals next year as well. I'll let the kids decide, if they want to add something or amend something, but I can't believe that you wouldn't want to have those goals on the table for your overall program, and the kids agreed to that, so we're excited, and yeah, come see us. We're a great team to watch, and we're getting better every day.
How about the younger program, JV, junior high? Is there some talent there coming up?
Yeah, there's some kids that are playing well. When you say JV and junior high, at the JV level, we have a lot of young guys playing at the varsity level. We have 10th graders playing. We even have 1 or 2 9th graders that are pressing a little bit with a few plays here on defense or special teams. As far as the JV kids are going, they're learning. They're struggling a little bit out of the gate. I've gone to see the junior high practices and games, and it looks like there's some talent there. There's certainly the numbers have improved from what my understanding is, so you're always excited to get people out. I had told you that after the coaching staff, you have to go talk to the kids, and then the next thing is you need to cast the net out there and get as many players as you can to come out. We need to get every athlete in school, both at the high school and the junior high, out. Truth be told, I think that when I first came over here in April and May, we worked very hard to get kids out, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't get as many kids out as I'd hoped to, but this is the first year. But of course, when you're the head coach, you want every kid out. So,
right.
You're always disappointed, I guess, to some degree. And I fully expect after this first year and the reputation that we're starting to build as a program, that more kids will kind of buy in and want to join us and be part of our team and commit. And I want the players to commit from beginning to end. So when it goes to the junior high and the youth programs, I'm around. I'm there. The coaches know I'm there. They see me coming up and kind of sneaking up on the sideline because I don't want them to know that I'm there initially. I want them to concentrate on their game, and I want them to be with us for 4 full years of high school, not in and out or join us their last year, but to be with us for 4 full years. And I think that's going to happen with time.
Yeah, and you've already started communicating with the youth teams and the youth coaches, and so you're starting to build those inroads and relationships there, which is hugely important.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
they're starting to buy in.
Yeah, good. Well, a lot of people are buying in, and we appreciate that, and it is fun to watch, and we do appreciate all that you do for our kids in our school. So keep it up, and guys, thank you so much for coming out and sharing a few minutes with us and sharing about Buckeye football. It's exciting. It's fun to see, and you guys do a great job in the classroom and on the field, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This has been the Best of Buckeye, and we've been joined by some great young men and our coach here today. I want you to tune in the next time, and thank you, and have a great afternoon. Thanks.